So still nothing?
No.
Hello everybody. I'm Toby. This is the wife. And we're going to do something a little bit different that we haven't done before. We do have a lot of friends that are like curious about certain parts of our relationship and stuff.
Because it's interesting.
It's very interesting. And for those that don't know, new to the channel, who've never met me, I am, what's the technical term for it? Is it just transgender?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the technical term for it is transgender. There's a lot of technical terms nowadays, and honestly, I can't keep track of all of them. So, if at any point I list something that's wrong, please don't take offense. It's like, I'm trying to keep up on tabs and everything, but I mean, there's just too damn many of them by now.
It's because the community's always changing.
Yeah, the community's always changing, always growing, everything. So, some of the questions in this is going to be geared towards that. And just religious topics and stuff like that. So, if you don't want to know any of these details about us, you don't have to watch. But if you're curious, watch. If we didn't answer a question that you've been wondering, leave it in the comment section. We may do another one of these. Go ahead with the questions.
Okay, question number 1.
Okay.
When did y'all meet?
We met, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago? Something like that?
Depends on if you count on the side of the road. Or at work.
To tell you the truth, we honestly have no clue. We've been together a minute. That we know that.
Sometime in the last 5 years. We'll go with that. 4 years.
Something like that. I don't know. We don't keep track of shit. My memory is so damn bad that I'm lucky to even be able to keep track of what my own damn name is.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, don't disagree with me at all on that one.
Who was interested first? That would be me. Definitely me.
The Go-Gurt thing popped into my head.
Go-Gurts are good.
Yes, dear.
When did you realize you might be LGBTQ?
I was little. I was like a kid. And I already knew that was going to be something I'd have to keep to myself because of how my family's religion and everything was. So, yeah. I was real little, though.
For me, it was just always a question, but I didn't know the answer. It's like, didn't even know, pansexual was a thing until a few years ago. No, literally a couple years ago.
Yeah,
it's like I didn't even.
It was last year that you
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So.
I remember that was around the time that the TikTok thing was like, oh my god, they're having sex with the pans, and then you started cracking up laughing, and then we started doing research and we realized, wow, you're laughing about your own kind. But yes, we keep the pots and pans locked up just in case.
Yeah. Just in case.
I'm not for an open relationship right now. We have a lot of inside jokes and everything, so yeah, you'll even see it in my Let's Play videos. I can't help it. Anyway, next question.
Have there been any struggles with being in an LGBTQ relationship?
Only on the outside.
Yeah.
And by outside, I mean like outside of our relationship and stuff. There's people that still, they don't like seeing, people like me and her kissing in public. It's like, it's sort of gross and stuff. And I've noticed that whenever I do kiss her in public, I tend to get stared at, but in my head I'm like, alright, well maybe I'll teach you how to do something, That's kind of how I view it. But I know at the beginning when we got together, where we live at, they're slowly coming around. And by slowly, I mean the people in this area that have been out like a lot longer than I have been with way more struggles and stuff than I have. And it's like I've come out at a point where everybody's kind of like, okay, well, we don't want it, but we can't prevent it. So it's like, you got to get used to it or else you're going to just keep making yourself miserable. Mm-hmm. That pretty accurate?
Yeah. the only struggle for me is like the outside world. To me, us is normal.
Yeah.
It's like it's just how it works for us.
Yeah.
It's like everybody else is the one's got the problem.
Honestly, we've both been through enough in our life where people's opinions about us, unless you're in our tight little circle thing that we have, your opinion don't mean shit to us.
We ain't got a circle. We're just a straight line. Me and you. That's it.
Yeah, but we do have a couple of acquaintances.
Yeah, because they're asking these questions.
Exactly. That's who I'm referring to. But our acquaintances that we got, if we was to kiss in public, somebody had an issue, they would probably beat the hell out of them. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to say all three of them would.
Yeah.
That's how many we have. 3 friends.
Just 3. Just 3.
That was almost one too many, but the other one, she passed the test.
Yeah. Who was the first person you came out to?
That would actually be my childhood best friend. I'm not going to mention her name on this because I don't have permission.
Okay.
And, she lives her own separate life now. But she was the first one that I ever came out to, and that was in high school, I believe. She already knew. She had stayed on me, hounding me for months. She kept trying to tell me that I had a secret and all that, and she really wanted to know. And I played it off as, I don't have any secrets, I told her everything. And then she just kept going, there's something about you I don't know. But she knew me on not the same exact level that you know me on, because, we have the other stuff.
Yeah.
But just like you can tell whenever I'm lying.
Yeah.
It's like you automatically, like, I could be a convincing liar and she'd be like, no. And that was the level she knew me on, the other childhood friend. And whenever I kept telling her I didn't have anything, she's like, no, you got something. There's something there. Okay, you tell me when you're ready, but there's something there.
I already know what it is, but we're just waiting for you to come to terms with it.
She did. And whenever I finally said it, she goes, okay, so it took you a year of me hounding for you to finally come out and tell me that. And it's like, I'm sorry. What about you?
I think it was my mom. That was not a good
No,
experience.
that was... I wasn't there, but I can figure it out.
Yeah, this was... Anyway, moving on. Who was the most unsupportive person you've told?
Well, I'm going to have to say that that'd have to be a majority of my family. So, yeah.
Yeah. They're okay with it, to my face. But it's like behind my back, they're not okay with it.
Yeah, mine seem to, like, it's okay as long as we act like we're roommates.
Exactly. It's like, don't address the elephant.
It's like we're married and I still have family members that just want to refer to us as roommates, and it's like, oh, okay. We all live in y'all's little bubble. There.
Yeah. You go ahead. I don't want any of that bubble. I got my own bubble over here.
Yeah, right. Our bubble's better.
Who was the most supportive?
My dad.
My dad, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Our dads are pretty awesome. They have those sick, twisted sense of humors, but it's absolutely hilarious. My favorite moment with her dad will always be the windshield thing. He had taken a picture through his windshield, and there was, like, mountains in the background, right? Well, we're all sitting on the couch, chilling out. And he's looking through all these pictures that he took. He's taking pictures of the sights and everything. And he's brother-in-law, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to his brother-in-law and asked him if he noticed that there was a crack in the windshield. And his brother was like, no, I don't remember seeing a crack in the windshield. So he shows me his phone and he said, don't you see that crack in the windshield? I'm like, you mean the mountains? And he looked at me and he looked at that phone and he goes, weird. I pointed out where the crack in the windshield was and he goes, oh, well, holy hell, I didn't even notice that was mountains. We laughed about that for probably 2 hours straight.
It's still an inside joke.
It's still very much an inside joke. Like, crack in the windshield? Check to see if it was mountains first.
This one is easy.
What?
Who is the most needy? Me.
Oh my god. Needy on a whole new level.
I have needs, and you need to meet them.
Yes, dear.
Who is more outgoing?
Honestly, on that one, I don't know. Because, like, neither one of us is really the type to just, jump up and do it.
Depends the situation.
It
Depends
does.
on who I'm with.
Yeah. We got some things, like, even with this that I'm doing now, I'm not as outgoing with it as I should be, and I know that, but I'm also coming to terms with a lot of shit, too, if that means anything with this. But there's some things where it's like I get really hyper excited about, and then I get impatient whenever we're not doing it. Thank you, Mashiba Vash, for me.
Yeah.
And then there's other things that, like, I'll have planned, and it's like, okay, well, I can do this at any time, and then I don't do it, so. What about you?
What?
On the outgoing thing.
I don't know. I mean, I'm outgoing if it's like something I want to do, I guess. Something I feel comfortable in.
It's like, if we're not that passionate about it, we're not going to be that outgoing with it, I guess. Which I think that's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
It's like, for you to actually be outgoing with something, you have to have a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, alright.
I mean, I go out when I go to work. Does that
I
count?
don't think that counts.
Who is more likely to help a friend bury a body? For legal reasons, I am not going to answer.
Yeah, we're both going to have to plead the fifth to that. Alright, next question.
Okay. Who would be more likely to go ghost hunting?
That would actually be both of us.
Yeah, both there. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh my god, I have so many.
Just the biggest one.
Life in general?
I don't think that's a pet peeve.
Now, like, pet peeve in what, like, meaning? Is that, like, something that I absolutely cannot function with? Or is it something that, like, irritates the hell out of me, but I can get over it?
I don't know.
One of my biggest ones has got to be whenever someone sits there and just repeatedly clicks their damn pen. I cannot stand that shit. It's like, I have so many coworkers, even friends of mine, that will sit there and they will just play with their pen as they're doing shit, and all I want to do is just take their hand like that and then just break their thumb and take their pen away.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that annoy me.
Oh, and having to repeat myself because people aren't listening.
Sometimes when my shirt touches me a certain way, I don't like it. Or whenever my hair won't do right.
Okay.
I don't know. As far as things other people do,
Well, we're not worried about other people, we're talking about us.
well, yeah, but that would be something.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's a
You go ahead.
that's a pet peeve, isn't it?
Yes. I wasn't thinking of it like that. I was like, no, we're not talking about what other people's pet peeves are.
No, we're talking about things they
I'm
do.
just gonna get a
that I
drink
don't
of water and sit over here and shut up. Alright, you go on and answer that one.
I don't know. I don't know.
That was a great answer.
Trying to think of something other people do that just. I don't know.
Alright, we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
It'll pop in her head at one point.
When I'm going to sleep tonight.
Probably.
What's your biggest turn on? That's you.
I love a strong female. Like, if I could meet one that could put me in a chokehold and, like, toss me over a fence with, like, hardly any strength, that's sexy to me. That's...
So now I know what to do to you. And I'm pretty sure I could pick you up.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it later.
I'm like 4 foot taller than you,
That
so...
don't mean nothing. I have a thing
Yes,
for
dear.
hands, I guess.
I said pet peeve.
No, we're doing
Or the
turn-ons. Hands. Are you even here?
Kinda, yeah.
Are you here today?
No.
What's something that can make you not like someone instantly? Their damn face sometimes. The way they breathe. The way they look at me. And their vibe is like, I don't like it.
Honestly, I want to say it's being a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably one of the few that, I still think of the golden rule, how we're all supposed to treat everybody. And I like to think that I treat everybody the way that they treat me. Mimic a person's behavior?
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you're nice and sweet to me and you don't start no shit, I'm nice and sweet to you. Yes, I have that capability. I just don't know any people that I'm, nice and sweet to. Other than you, my beautiful sexy wife.
I know, I didn't count.
Oh, you said that, not me. Anyway.
I wasn't counting me.
But if you treat me like I'm beneath you, like the scum on the bottom of your feet, and then try and tell me how I do everything wrong and all that shit whenever I know clearly what I'm supposed to be doing and you won't listen, no, I'll have an issue from the start with you.
I'm just a big vibe reader.
Yeah.
I feel it. There's certain people that just, no.
I don't really feel vibes, I just don't like people.
They disturb my peace.
Oh, there's too many of them.
Okay, what would be your perfect day? Spending as much money as I want at the Spirit of Halloween store. And then going to eat at Shogun's again. And other things I can't say on there.
I don't know what my actual perfect day would be. There'd just be too many things. I will say, bottom line, and this isn't just kiss ass points, as long as I get to spend it with her, it's a perfect day to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I knew you would.
Yeah. Ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is not being able to overcome some of, I guess you call it my PTSD symptoms and stuff like that. And I won't be able to undo a lot of shit that was taught in my head that I'm supposed to do whenever I was a kid. That, it's really not good to be doing. Pretty much toxic behaviors, not being able to get rid of them. But
I can agree with that too, as well. And I don't want to be
them.
exactly the biggest fear would be turning into them and never being able to come back from it.
Yeah. And it's I've already been through the thick of it once. And it's look at what everything cost me. And it's I want to not be like them ever again. And it's you just worry, because it's is this going to be a repeat again one day? And then it just makes you terrified just to be able to do anything. So, yeah.
It's growing up, I didn't have role models. I had people I grew up not wanting to be like.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Except for my role model was Xena.
That's
where I like the badass bitches from.
That's not a role model. That's a turn on.
She was a strong, independent female.
Okay.
She wasn't relying on her mommy for anything, or her daddy.
No, because it probably already got dead.
No, her mom was still around, but her daddy was dead a long ass time ago. Anyway.
What's your favorite quote? I don't even know. I should have done some homework for this one.
In the end, we all are who we are, no matter how much we may appear to have changed. Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer to Willow when she thought that she had lost herself.
I don't know. I remember, but I don't remember, a quote that I put in my yearbook my senior year. I can't remember what it is though, but it was really good and it made a lot of sense. It fit
That's
me
why
really.
she can't remember
It fit me really well.
Alright, we can come back and do another quote.
What's the craziest thing you've done in a relationship?
Oh dear God.
We don't have enough time.
We really don't. Alright, next question.
Who is the most inspiring person you know?
The most inspiring person that I know. I would actually have to say my wife on that. And this isn't like one of those ass kissing things. It's just I never knew her growing up. And you know, I didn't know like her perspective on a lot of stuff. But seeing her battling and everything, trying to prevent from making that hell into our hell and everything. It's been inspiring watching her raise up above it.
Yeah. It's like figuring it out.
Yeah. And then every time you get to where you want to quit, you always come right back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because quitting doesn't get you to the... doesn't get you anywhere.
Nope. Quitting doesn't get us where we are today. What about you? You don't have an inspiring person?
I do have an inspiring person.
The question's for both of them.
I know, I'm trying to think of how to word it. But it's you.
Yay!
Because same thing. It's like I've seen you grow as a person into who you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Not like who you were told to be.
Right. That's one thing I have to say with who I was told that I had to be as opposed to who I'm turning into now. I came with a lot of anger problems. I used to keep a pair of padded gloves with me because of the fact that I had a habit of punching things. Not like people, but like walls and sides of houses and stuff. So, I don't know why I felt that I had to clarify that, but by people that I know is going to watch this and be like, yeah, we know who all you punched, but like, no, I've never punched anybody. I've just punched inanimate objects.
Nobody that could punch back.
That still wasn't it. No. Next question. Next question.
This one is just for you.
Oh, God. Alright.
Do you plan on having surgery to finish your transformation?
Top surgery, yes. Bottom surgery, no. There's just too many... I don't know how to word it correctly. There's just too many things that could go wrong with it. And at the last time that I checked into the research, it was like a 50-50 shot of the equipment actually functioning like it's supposed to. And until that gets to where it has like a higher success rate on it, I'm not doing it. Yeah. It's a lot cheaper to buy the stuff that you can use as the artificial parts than to actually proceed with the whole thing and it not working.
And you can pick whatever one
Yeah.
size you want.
Color, size. Anyway, before we end up making this X-rated.
All-time favorite song.
Mine has to be Rockstar by Nickelback. I don't know why, but that's my jam.
I don't know. I have too many favorites. Depends on what mood I'm in, what song
She
I'm in.
literally just likes anything and everything.
Right now it's that Butter song by BTS. Until I hear a
Which,
new one.
I looked this up on Google because I knew it sounded familiar. Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson is the inspiration behind that song. And I even read her the article and everything. And she's like, okay, well, it's not the same. Alright. She's one of those types.
Anyway. What was your biggest struggle as a teenager?
Honestly, just trying to fit in. Just trying to... I don't know, survive, I guess. I was horribly bullied at school and bullied at home too, so it was like I had no escape.
Yeah.
And it's pretty miserable for me, to be honest. But the only escape I had was whenever we went to the sci-fi conventions in the summertime.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like I belonged there because I was the only, I guess you call them nerds back then. It was a horrible thing to be a nerd back in the 90s, early 2000s.
But now it's like trending.
I know, right? It's like all these kids are popular now for everything that I was made fun of, beaten up for, and everything else back in school.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've gotten beat up over Pokemon cards? I can't even tell you how many. Yeah. It's like I had Power Ranger shirts that I liked too, and I was horribly bullied over that one. And it was like wearing my mom's clothes over high waters on me. So yeah, I definitely got made fun of for that shit.
My biggest struggle as a teenager was probably the acne that I had to deal with. Like, it was so bad.
I never had any of those problems.
Oh, I did. Oh, God. Dermatologist after dermatologist, medicine, pills. Cricket season.
Thanks for breaking the tension.
But I was bullied for that too a lot. It was like ever since I was like, it started when I was like 11. Up until I was like 15 or 16, it was really bad.
I was also bullied for being tall. I got called tree trunk all the time. Yeah, I'm 16. I think I got it. I don't know. She's fine. She's fine.
This one is for you too. Where's that? Have you always felt like a male, or was it something that grew over time, like an urge or feeling?
Well, I mean, I was pretty much raised as a boy. I mean, I'm pretty sure my mom wouldn't agree with that, but I was brought up doing boy stuff, wearing boys' clothes. I have very limited memories of me having girl clothes. It was usually brought on by mom's fear of me wearing those outside because she was so terrified I was going to get kidnapped and something's going to happen to me. So I was primarily dressed in boy clothes. Yeah.
You good with that answer? Okay. Has your sexuality changed your relationship with any family members, like they couldn't accept you?
Yeah.
This is one question I was ready for too.
Yeah. It's like from the main person, they know who they are. I'm not going to out them on that because that's not right. But yeah, I mean, maybe one day they'll come to terms with this shit. That it's just who I am. I've never been accepted for who I was by even most of my family members, so why should I be accepted for that? I guess that's how I tell myself it, so I can just move on with my life.
Yeah, it doesn't need to waste your energy on it, because...
Yeah, there's no point in trying to convince somebody that you're still the same person just because you identify differently, but, you know, people believe whatever they're going to believe, so...
Yes, it has changed my relationship with most of my family, except one person. And like, they would be okay with it to my face, like I said before, but like talk about me behind their back, and I haven't talked to any of them in a couple years. So
I think one of the biggest problems that me and her both have on the sides of the family, all of them share the fact that they care more about what other people think of them than they have of their own opinions. And it's like, as long as we can't conform to fit in their bubbles to make them feel better about themselves, then it's like, we mean nothing. So for all you guys watching this that have those issues where it's like you're more worried about what your next door neighbor thinks about you than how you are concerned about your child or spouse or whatever having these problems in their head, then maybe you need to reevaluate yourself. Okay.
How old were you when you had your first relationship?
My first actual relationship was my freshman year. And it was with a guy, unfortunately. Most of my relationships, are that way. Yeah. Nothing ever came about it.
I was 16. Yeah, so we're moving on from that. Is your first relationship partner the same sex as the partner you're with now?
No.
See, technically, for me, it's hard to answer.
No, because your first relationship partner was with a biological male.
If you
I'm
go
not
that
biological.
way. See, I don't think about that in my head. It's all the same to me.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you can say that, mentality-wise, we would be the same, but I guess that's how you perceive it as.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, definitely you can say yes.
To me, it's the same. Yeah. It's better this way.
I agree. All right, forget my answer. I was being too technical and literal. You're already farting in the videos.
What was this?
I don't believe
cushion on my chair.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
What is your spirituality?
I don't know. I'm just a fan of pretty much anything that just kind of makes me laugh or whatever, so.
I don't know. Spirituality to me would be like, I don't know, being your most authentic you.
Yeah. And I think even you'll admit with stuff that like cracks me up and stuff, I come out of my shell a lot more.
Yeah.
With stuff like that.
Yeah. Has it always been that way?
Yeah. I've always been way more of a fan of people that could make me laugh and stuff. It's like that right there has always spoken to me more than anything. I think that's the reason why I was always a huge fan of animals whenever I was a kid too. It's like most of the time they were just, being them, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like anytime whenever I would be playing on my computer or whatever, my cat that I grew up with would like lay across my keyboard, so I spent like most of my time on there going like this around my damn cat to find the keys and stuff. Okay, next.
Oh, damn. Did I already say has it always been that way?
Yes.
Okay, well, I didn't answer yet.
Okay, well you answered.
No, it has not always been that way. I mean, it was before, but then I was like, straight
you should
away
tell
from
like
it.
a little bit of part of like why you wasn't able to stay with that.
Because of the people I was with. It's like they didn't like me to be me the way that I was. They wanted me to be whatever fit their agenda.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst thing you've been told about your sexuality?
I don't think I've ever actually been told like a bad thing like that. I do remember whenever I first came out to my mom and she told me that I didn't really feel that way, that I was just going through a bunch of stuff and that would pass pretty much. And that was about 5 years ago. I'm here, married, and living a life now, so I'm gonna guess that really hasn't changed much. I don't know. I'm sorry, what? It's all in your head. You'll get over it. It's just a feeling. Yeah, okay.
It's a phase. It's just a phase.
No, being straight was the phase. Still need out of the t-shirt, Shantae, if you're watching this. She's probably not.
She's probably not. We'll have to let her know we mentioned her so she would watch it. I don't really think I've been told anything. Like,
No?
I don't know, because I came out at a time where it's more accepting.
Lucky.
So, it hasn't been that long ago from when you did. I guess it just depends on who you came out
Yeah.
to, who all knows, I guess.
Yeah.
Because most people that we have, well, all people mostly, most people.
The main people that we interact with now are the same people that we interacted with at the beginning, except for minus a couple people.
Yeah. Everybody's supportive of it. They're
We
just like,
spent about the first year that we were together weeding out the toxic people. It's like if anybody was going to start drama in our relationship, then we just got rid of. It's like we both felt that, yeah, even though some of these people had been with us and like confidants and everything else for the longest time, when we finally got to that point where the only negativity that we had was what we allowed in our own lives, we decided to not do that.
like, what's the point in having it?
Yeah.
If it's not good for you, it's not good for your soul, why keep it around?
Exactly. And there was a few people that we actually cherished that we had to let go, just for our own sanity, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, this is the last one.
Okay.
What's the scariest part of coming out for you and me?
Honestly, the only thing that I was ever really scared about was just the possibility of violence happening. That was about the only thing that I was scared about.
Especially living in Bible Belt.
Yeah. Because I had no idea. Like we have people that live in our area. It's not much like unlike any other areas. But stuff like this has been met with violence. And for the longest time, I dress like a guy all the time. I don't even own girl clothes. So it's like anybody that is around me now knows me as Toby. Most of the people that knew me as my dead name, only maybe one or two of them is still technically involved in my life, and they're supportive, and I don't have to fight with them over anything. But it's like pretty much the rest of them that knew me in that past life, they're just not around.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The scariest part for me was like, you know, you have that imposter syndrome type thing. It's like, is that really you, or are you just going along with it because it's popular or trending? It's like,
I don't see that with you as being the imposter syndrome, or that that's what you were made to do. That was the top behavior. Because that was pretty much punched into your head as a kid. That it's like you do what everybody wants you to do. That's the only way you're getting accepted. So I wouldn't say that as an imposter thing on that one. But you have had your battles with it, though. I mean, I've had my battles with it as well. But it's like ultimately it just comes down to what makes you happy.
mm-hmm.
And I will have to say with the way our relationship is, regardless of the marriage or whatever, it's just our relationship. Like, if I was to wake up tomorrow and decide that I was okay with my sexuality as the biological female that I am, and go back to living that life, yeah, she's going to question a little bit, making sure that I'm actually coming to terms with this. She wouldn't leave me or anything like that. She'd be highly supportive with it. She would just want to make sure for my own mental clarity and sake that it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that makes us rare, because I don't know of many couples that would survive something like that if that was to happen.
Yeah. I know. Whatever you feel like is you.
Yeah. And it'd be the same thing with her. I mean, I might have to deal with an open relationship with a crock pot one day, but I think I'll be alright.
They're on sale right now.
See, she's already planning on leaving me for a crock pot. Yeah, it's one thing. It's like we have so many inside jokes we use for everything, and it just adds to comedy and stuff. I think that's why me and you don't really ever fight. Cause like one of us will mouth off something like that, and then it's hilariousness.
So many inside jokes that just write a book that nobody will understand.
Nobody would get it. Just be 1,000 pages of our inside joke one-liners. People would be like, "Where is this even from?" And you'll hear a lot of those in my Let's Plays.
It'd be a fun game. Guess what's the inside joke?
I should do one of those. Might have like a prize giveaway for whoever gets the most.
Can I participate?
No!
I will win.
That's why you're not allowed to participate.
I never win the prize.
Hey, you want me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, there's your prize. The shit I put up with. So, that it?
That's all the questions.
Alright. So if you guys are still curious or you want us to add further detail to some of these, which I probably won't, but that's not the point.
We still have some we have to go back and answer. But we have to think on it first.
Yeah, we're probably not. Anyway.
If you really want to know, just ask again and we'll make a follow-up. Possibly.
Theoretically. Anyway. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If y'all have any other questions or whatever, leave them in the comments. I might or might not read them. I might or might not do a follow-up. I probably will.
How dare you?
I live with her. So, yeah, we'll probably be doing a follow-up just because this one's going to be like, hey, we need another follow-up question.
Yes, we do.
See, this is the shit that I put up with.
I'm motivating you to keep going. That's what I'm for.
Alright, well, I'm going to go take a nap with all that motivation. Thank you guys so much for watching.